next one of my favorite topics, boxing. So Joseph Parker, he should took Deontay Wilder this past Saturday, man. What's with all the holding, Deontay? I don't know what's going on with him. Did you see that fight?
I saw that. Yeah, it was especially towards the end. It was
Oh
almost.
yeah.
It looked like they were dancing.
He
Not
was
fighting,
he
really.
was literally hanging on. I feel like most of those fighters they do that because they know they're tired, but they want to be in as many rounds, hold off as many rounds as they can. But can he please stay out of tell him to stay out of the corner, please, because oh my goodness. So just to kind of get into it, James, what was Deontay's biggest factor in losing this fight? It's a lot, but what was the biggest one to you?
I think maybe just the hits that he was taking, and then also, I feel like he also tired himself out. I mean,
Yeah.
this did this last into 12 rounds, I think.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so at that point, it's like you either have to go ahead and try and finish the fight early, or it's just going to drag on, and the judges are going to make their decision. The way that they see it.
Yeah, and that's basically what happened. To me, he didn't have a proper defensive technique. He didn't, and he thinking only power hits can win. Like I said, he throws some good hits. He throws some power hits, but you have to have a defensive strategy as well. He had a lot of open looks. Um, which is not good. And Parker was coming with it, man. I mean, his hits. It seemed like scary in the corner. Um, but yeah, man, I think that was his only downfall. Just like you said, too early. Throwing those hits. He should have waited kind of later in the rounds to kind of turn up the heat. I feel like he turned. That's why he got tired.
And Wilder, he had been away. He hadn't fought in a long time.
In a minute, yeah, too.
At 38 years old, it'll take a little while to get back
into it, right? Exactly. So, but if we just look into the pros and cons, so for Parker, man, he had some good body hits, He had a better footing, to me, and he turned up the heat when needed, man. I mean, which was at the round end. I don't know what happened to him. It just seemed like he just unleashed anger. Kind of in those last few rounds, especially round 8, and then Deontay's cons, man. He didn't like I said he didn't have a good defensive technique. He's not getting out of the corner under pressure. That's dangerous. If you don't get out of a corner and a fighter's hot and they're you know what I mean, that's never good. And then he's just using his haymaker hits too early, which is never good because even if you're not tired, like around the end of the rounds, what else do you have? You're throwing all those power hits early. You're not gonna have a lot of energy to finish. So
yeah, Wilder had mentioned that his timing was off, and he didn't let his hands and punches off like usual.
Yeah.
And did that seem like what was probably happening with him?
Yeah, I think so.
It was the timing.
Yeah, timing. But the second question, man, what do you think Parker's technique was in this fight?
Well, considering it lasted so long, maybe he was just trying to see how long Wilder was going to be able to last with him.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to be able to go along with them for as long as they needed to.
Yeah, I think Parker, he just lasted in the fight to tire his opponent out. Tire him out. Then use his haymakers when needed, and that was the difference between him and Deontay.
So he had a strategy going into
this.
Then,
he took it the smarter route. He said, "Look, I'm gonna let you do all of this, and then when my turn comes, man, it's gonna be bad." But if we just look at the key plays right here, James, Parker he threw a massive right hook in the 8th round. I don't know if you've seen that part. Man, it looked like it was so fast. It was like, man, I wasn't even ready. You know what I mean? That was crazy. Parker just letting all this anger out on Deontay after that hit in the corner. And any smart boxer would know, okay, get out of the corner or hug something. You can't stay right there, Why do you think he didn't get out the corner?
I think maybe just the time away from boxing, and maybe with his confidence, he thought that he was maybe going to be able to take it there in the corner and fight his way out. But
No, that was crazy. He kept torturing with those fast. It was those fast right hooks, James, that kept getting it, and it's like, okay, well, they gonna. So I get why he was holding them, but at the same time, it's like, man, you gotta, you gotta get back. You gotta get back right.
This fight did have a unanimous decision. Do you agree with the result with the judges there?
Yeah, because like I said, he threw some good hits too. I'm not knocking him, but he definitely needs. He has to have a good defensive technique, kind of going back in. If he's going to continue to box, and just getting back to his old self. Um, but yeah, that's not it. And then just the last question to kind of end this topic off, man. What does this mean for Deontay? You think?
Well, he had mentioned after the fight that he's still full of happiness and joy and full of smiles. It's not the end, and that he's going to be back. He had also apologized to people that he may have let down by losing the fight.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I don't think it was his fault for losing that fight. I mean, even there at the end when they're making the decision, he had his arm up like he was ready to, accept victory.
Yeah.
So he believed that he had a chance.
He believed in himself, yeah. But like I said, under Parker, he's a good fighter. He's not no amateur. So, it makes sense. You're just coming back. You're, just getting your feet wet back in it. So it's gonna take some time. But y'all let us know how y'all feel about that fight and Deontay and what y'all feel he should do in the remaining of his boxing career.
I kind of like the aftermath of it too, because Wilder and Parker are on really friendly terms.
Yeah.
They had texted each other afterward, and Wilder said that Parker texted him, "I never had a six-pack until I knew I was going to fight you." So he was getting in shape and getting ready there.
Yeah.
And then Wilder had congratulated Parker with another text. He said, "Great fight. Thank you for the opportunity. Congratulations, and enjoy the win with your family."
Oh yeah, man. That's a good way to end it.
I think that's the way it should be, even in like individual competitive sports like this. You got to show sportsmanship, especially to the kids who are watching, and you got to show there's a right way to do stuff.
Right way. I feel like UFC, all those sports should be like that. But we mostly see it in I say boxing and like basketball and stuff like that. But yeah, y'all let us know how y'all feel about that fight and just we'll keep y'all updated on who's fighting next. It's a couple fighters that I've been looking at for sure. But I'm gonna pass it over to my co-host James. What else we got?